There's a moment, right before dawn, when the tea terraces are silent, the dew seems to hold its breath, and all you hear is the land waking up. That's Sri Lanka. And later, when cliffs greet the roaring sea, you understand why everyone's talking about it right now. This film isn't about beaches or temples. It's about moments that grab you, quiet ones, raw ones. And somewhere in that silence, you just might hear your own heartbeat louder than ever. Stay with me, and by the end, I promise you'll know why it's impossible not to fall in love. This is an invitation to step into a country alive with textures, lives, and layers that will stay with you long after the plane leaves the runway. I woke at 5 a.m., dressed in layers against the chill, and walked toward the edge of the tea terraces near Nuwara Eliya, up the slopes of Piduruttalagala, the highest peak in Sri Lanka. Mist lay thick between terraces, lit in silver by dawn. I followed Kamala, tea picker whose fingers moved so fast it seemed instinctual. She carried a woven basket strapped to her waist, emptied with each row of leaves. "These hills teach patience," she said softly. "One leaf at a time, we make everything whole." That sentence didn't feel rehearsed. It felt lived. And as I watched her work, I realized, this wasn't labor, it was poetry. A breath. A sacred practice that's been done here since tea began in the 1860s. Sri Lanka produced over 300,000 metric tons of tea in 2020, much of it from the Central Highlands, designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2010. Footage, slow pans across dewdrops on new leaves, Kamala's hands, the mist unfolding dot. Transition with the whistle of a train engine. From Nuwara Eliya, the old hill country train chugs to Ella. Trackside, water pours down cliffs, ferns brush windows, monkeys dart in trees. And there, peeking through green, is the iconic 9-arch bridge, made without steel, built in the 1920s. I jumped off in the sunrise and walked up to Little Adams Peak. The air smelled like wet earth and moss. Around me, a dozen other travelers shared the path, quiet nod in lieu of conversation, because no words felt necessary. I met Ben and Sarah, 2 American travelers. They confessed they came chasing Instagram shots, but as they stood on that ridge, camera down, shoulders touching to stay warm, they said, it's bigger in real life. And it doesn't need a filter. The bridge stands at 24 meters tall with 9 arches, an architectural marvel made from stone and brick during British colonial rule. The vantage point didn't just show a gorge. It gave perspective. An unspoken unity that happens around true beauty, the camera lingering on their expressions, the gorge stretching below, vines framing the frame, transition to white jeep climbing golden plains. Sigiriya isn't just a rock fortress. It's a story etched in stone and water gardens. I timed the climb just as tourists left, so I could hear my own steps as I passed ancient frescoes. At a stone balcony halfway up, I paused. The air tasted like rain. I thought of King Kasyapa, who built this place in the 5th century over chronicles of palace intrigue. He carved gardens, engineered canals, tried to meld heaven and earth. The lion-shaped entrance tower and large moated complex date back to 477 AD and are among the most sophisticated urban planning schemes from that era. At dusk, I looked down and saw jungle swallow the rock, silent. I realized history isn't distant here. It's present, a living pulse under every footfall. Close-ups of foot taps, fresco textures, light dancing on the walls, smooth cut into waves crashing. I woke again before sunrise, this time in Mirsa, on the southern coast. The ocean was glass. A small wooden boat rocked gently as we pushed off. We glided out, and soon were surrounded by spinner dolphins, hundreds, diving and leaping at dawn. An hour later we watched Rohan, a local fisherman, cast nets. Small chants rolled off his lips when the catch came in, words I didn't understand but felt like prayer. The ocean reminds us we're small, yes, but part of something vast, he said, handing me a steaming cup of sweet tea. Between November and April, Mirsa serves as one of the largest congregating spots for spinner dolphins globally. In eastern Sri Lanka, Yala National Park is dark, deep jungle lit by moon. I sat in a jeep with a guide, tracker, and a driver, heart pounding with expectation. Rain had just fallen, so the earth smelled alive, a mix of musk and fresh leaves. Then, 2 glowing eyes, then 4. Leopard cubs, siblings, testing the night. Then their mother appeared, silent like a shadow. Yala has the highest density of wild leopards in the world, roughly 1 every 4 kilometers squared. Our guide whispered, "They don't know we're here. That's why we come, to see without disturbing." I felt awe, a raw, primal thrill. No exotic spectacle. Just real-world wildness, unfiltered and balanced. Cuts to flickering torches on the jeep, silhouettes passing beneath star-dusted sky, transition with flickering flame to temple entrance gate. Candy is humid when you arrive. I followed pilgrims to Sri Dalada Maliga, the temple of the tooth. Inside, they carried lotus flowers, priests chanted while dawn light filtered through carved wood. I watched a woman place her flower before the silver stupa, eyes closed, tears bright in her palms. "Hope lives here," she whispered. The temple guards one of Buddha's canine teeth, a relic believed to have arrived in the 4th century, and it anchors much of Sri Lankan Buddhism's spiritual identity. Flutter of robes, golden lamps, lotus petals, shadow and light dancing across stone, quiet fade to darkness pierced by handheld light. I climbed again, this time to Adam's